Okay, I can see you. You can see me while we're doing this presentation, and you can see the, my PowerPoint presentation, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fantastic. Yes. So welcome to the Money Intelligence webinar. Let me just check. Okay, we're recording. Okay, fantastic. Because I always forget recording. Okay, so welcome to the Money Intelligence webinar, especially at 7 o'clock in the evening, where people who just want to watch MKR or MasterChef, good that you've taken the time to do these, to listen to an accountant talk about money. So I want to start talking about myself first before I begin. The reason I am doing these webinars is because I want to educate people about money. I have been in business for the past 25 years. I started my accounting practice when in 1995, I actually used to drive around in my red Ford Telstar doing people's tax returns, in the evenings and weekends, going into people's homes, and they give me tea and dinner while I do their tax returns. And I actually progressed in my career from just being, a tax accountant into a fully fledged financial planner, because while I was doing these people's tax returns, they used to ask me financial questions. So, where should I invest? I want to look at investing in a property. What can I do? What about shares? What do you think about Warren Buffett? All these things that people used to ask me. So within about 4 years after I started my business, I ended up doing my financial planning education and got my financial planning diploma and started advising people in all matters of financial planning. But I didn't stop there, because as the market has changed, superannuation came up, and I educated myself in the area of self-managed super funds. So I'm a SMSF specialist. I also, because I'm a WOG, as you can tell, I love property. So I did a course on property and how property works, because people used to ask me questions on property, and I'm a big believer in property. It's part of my portfolio, and I have to say that. So it's not like I'm a traditional financial planner in the whole sense of the word that if you've got money, dump it in a managed fund. So I'm a big believer in taking control of your own finances. Yes, having a property portfolio, there's nothing wrong with that. You could balance it with shares, there's nothing wrong with that. Having your own self-managed super fund, for sure, 100%. Who wants to give their money to fund managers out there and then hope to God that they're going to be good, do the right thing by them, and by the time they retire 40 years later, that their money will be intact? Okay, go for it. So I'm a big believer in taking control of your money. And in order to do that, I do believe that people need to bring understand how money works, and also educate themselves in the world of money. So, so about 4 years ago, I wanted to educate my own clients. So I actually wanted to sit down and write like this small, thin book about money and finances and how it works. But that thin book ended up being an 80,000 word book. I wrote everything I know about money and dumped it in the book. And I realized that the reason people don't take control of their finances is because they lack financial education. They lack that financial literacy. And it's not their fault. It's because we are not taught money intelligence, or what I call money intelligence, or financial literacy at schools, at universities. And certainly I did not know a lot of things that I do know now, even after finishing a business degree, a master's degree from university. I had no idea about the world of money and how that works. So part of the journey is for me to also take what I've learned and give it back to the community. So when I wrote the book, I only wanted to write it for my clients, but then I realized, people, everybody can actually learn these things. So that's why I wrote the book. It's called Money Intelligence. And after writing the book, this also wasn't enough for me. So I started creating these money programs and courses. So the past 8 months, I've been running this money online money course for my existing clients, and I've had a few non-clients join me on the journey, and I realized I need to share it more with the wider community. So if you've come through Facebook, it's because we put a Facebook ad. It's the first time I've done that, so I've taken the big leap forward. So thank you for coming on this webinar. So my question to you is why you're here. So if you want to just give me one word why you're here, what do you want to learn from today, if you would like to share.
Financial comfort, I guess, for us. We spoke about this before, Susan. So, yeah, financial comfort. If that could be one word. I'm sorry, I'm a wog. I can't stop with one word.
We all want comfort. We all want that comfort zone. Absolutely. So it's basically you want financial security.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Fantastic. Okay. Mani, if you want to say one word.
Oh, just new learnings.
New learning. Okay.
Yeah, learn some more information. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, you're in the right place. Okay, great. That's great. So we all know that in order to lose weight, and I know that in order for me to lose weight, which I need probably between 6 to 7 kilos, they're driving me crazy for the past 10 years. You need to you need to eat less and exercise more. But even though I know that, I would have to admit that I don't do it. I might eat less one day, and then my mom brings some food to the office because she works in the office 2 days a week, and my diet goes out the window. And if I get stressed from work, or I work more hours, I don't get up in the morning at 6 o'clock and go down to the gym and do that half an hour on the treadmill. So I know that I need to do these things, but it does not work. So we get lots of prescriptions in our lives, and it's the same with money. We all know we need to spend less and make more money, or make more money. But it doesn't work that way, because there's other things that get in the way. The car might break down, you need a new car, or the house becomes too small for you and you need to upgrade. All these things get in the way. And so, and sometimes, you might invest with the wrong people, and then you lose your savings that you've been saving for a couple of years. So these things kind of does not work, even though we know this is what we need to do. We need to spend less and make more money. So why is that the case? In the case of finances, there's all this world of financial planning. And, as a financial planner myself, we've been taught when, I went and did back in 1999, we've been taught, you ask the clients the questions, what's your budget? Let's cut your costs. Let's save money, put it in a managed fund, put money in shares, blah, blah, blah. We look at your risk profile. But I think that those traditional financial planning methods don't really work. And the reason they don't really work is because we are human beings. There's other factors that come in the way. So there's also, people who go to do courses for, motivational courses, unleash your potential, unleash your financial potential, achieve your goals. You get psyched up for the weekend, and then you go back home and, things kind of wither down. So you kind of ask yourself the question, there's the strict financial planning methods. There's also the motivational methods, and they kind of don't talk. You might end up going to a share share trading course. You might go to Tony Robbins' course, or you might go to Chris Howard's course, or options trading, or how to invest in property. But is that the answer? The financial method or the motivational method is the answer? I believe that the answer is to combine both. And the reason we need to combine both is because we are left-brained people and right-brained people at the same time. So we want the method, we want the prescription, but we also want to get the motivation. We want to understand how things work. We want to understand ourselves. So because we have our own dreams, we have we really want to pay down our mortgage. We want to travel. We want to secure our children's future. We also want to secure our own future.
So you don't want
as you know, many people talk about it now. The pension is not the answer. So how do we bring all of that together? So sorry, can I just mute you, Alicia, if you don't mind? Is that okay? Okay, great. So we want to explore this world of money, but we are scared. We don't know where to go. So I believe that there's this gap, the gap of there's people who talk about strict financial prescriptions, do an options trading course, do a share course, do a property course. And also on the other side, you need to get motivated. You need to understand yourself. You need to understand your self-worth. And so no one is talking about bridging that gap. And I saw that while I was writing my book. And that's why if you read my book, half of it is for the right brain and half of it for the left brain. I've combined the financial and technical skills that you need for yourself to succeed financially, real, money, money prescriptions, money tradition. But at the same time, I also combined the personal development side, the empowerment, motivational side. I've done, while I was doing my, bachelor in accounting, my master's, my CPA, my self-managed super fund specialist, property courses that I've done, the financial planning diploma that I've done. At the same time, I've done the Chris Howard things, the landmark education, free to be me courses. So all this stuff that I've learned over the past 20 years, I've combined together and created the concept of money intelligence, which goes beyond just the strict financial prescriptions and encompasses the motivational stuff, the right brain and the left brain. So I promised in my Facebook ad that I would share with you the 3 steps you would need to take in order to achieve your financial potential. And those 3 steps are part of the 3 modules that I will be sharing with people next week. I'm starting the course next week online. The 3 out of the 6 modules that I'll be sharing those 3 steps tonight. And the first one is, which is module 1 actually in the course, it's you need to understand your money story. And your money story does not begin with the day that you started working or the day that you started your business. It begins back in your childhood. So in this module, we explore what your upbringing is, your culture, your religion, your family structure, your family dynamic, what your parents talked about money or did not talk about money, what your grandparents went through. A lot of Australians that I've spoken with, their grandparents went through the Depression, and that has put, it gave them an impression about money. So if you look at your grandparents, you know, they might be careful with their money because they've gone through that hard part, and it's imprinted on the parents and now on the grandchildren. So in this module, we explore what happened going back when you were 6 or 7, when you became aware of, you know, the idea of money. Your parents might have talked about it. You know, some people who have done the course the past 8 months, their parents went through a hard time in the business. So we explore all of that in a loving, compassionate, and caring environment. So we also separate in that module that what you think happened in your childhood and what you made what happened mean, because by separating that, it allows you to open up and figure out, why do I feel inadequate either making money, or why do I feel guilty spending the money, or why do I feel guilty when I make money that I need to shake it out of myself because, you know, money is not good. You know, there's that impression that we get. So we uncover all the taboos that our society gives us when we, as we're growing up. I want to share with you what one participant shared about his money story, which I think is very powerful. I get people to write their story, so you journal it. It will we will do 2 weeks. We will spend 2 weeks on this module to think about it, to share about it, to journal it, so that you give yourself time to be kind with yourself, to let go of the past and say that you want to start a new beginning. And the new beginning is going to come from your 30-year-old or 40-year-old self, not from your 5-year-old self that you've had, you know, you've carried that with you into adulthood. We're going to say goodbye to the 5-year-old self that made all these things about what money means, and welcome your adult self, no matter how old you are, and change the course of your life, because I believe it is possible. It happened to me. So I want to share with you about my money story. When I started my business back in 95, you know, I was full of energy. I wanted to make change in my life, but you know, I grew the business up to a point where I could not go further. And by 2002, which was just after the tech bubble. I don't know if you've heard of the tech bubble back in those days. We had a tech crash. You know, it affected the economy in the whole entire planet, including Australia. A lot of clients who were in the tech industry basically disappeared, and I lost a lot of money. And I was close to basically just like, you know, folding the business and go back and work for somebody, you know, after spending 5 years of my hard work, you know, 16, 17-hour days every day into my business. I was thinking of leaving my business and going back and working for someone. And if it weren't for a client of mine who was actually a CEO of a multinational company, who was actually going through his own health problems. He ended up with cancer. I share about him in the book. If he did not sit down and coach me about what I've created, and that I could basically even restart my business, because I lost a lot of clients out of that tech crash, and start again with less clients, and I have to go back and go into the market and bring new business. If he did not coach me and change my money story, I would not be here today sharing this with you in this capacity. So I took this coaching and dumped it in this module. So whatever he changed for me in that year, I'm hoping it will change you. So he died in that year, in 2003, battling cancer. And he asked me to promise him that I will take his teachings, I will take what I've created and help other people. So it took me 15 years to get to a point where I would say I am beyond survival and I want to give back. And I share about that in the book, that you need to become a money anchor. Once you secure your financial needs, based on Maslow's hierarchy of needs, once you get to that point where it's not only about survival anymore, you want to self-actualize, you want to help people as much as you can, you want to pay it forward, then it becomes all about sharing with other people. Because I can see from talking to thousands of people over the past 25 years that change comes from within. And it starts with that money story. And it starts with those assumptions we have in our mind. So sharing with you today about what this one participant said from their money story module. I want to read it out to you because I feel it's important that people get to this point. The money story is the most important module out of this course. If you do module 1 and just don't do anything with the other 5 modules, you will make change in your life. And that's what actually happened with one client. He only did module 1, and from it he went from 0 savings to $65,000 that he saved over 6 months, with the help of his superannuation, I would have to add. But he bought an investment property. He changed his life with that money. So I want to share with you what he said about his story. I feel that I have lived my life for the day and not for the future. I have been selfish in my approach to money and have utilized every penny of it in the search for happiness on a day-to-day basis. If I was to change anything, it would be that I could have taken more responsibility for my finances earlier in life and had more of a balanced approach, more in line with family, long-term planning, and being ultimately more mature and sensible with my money decisions. That admission that that confession, that admission that he did changed his life, because 4 months later, this guy created his plan and bought an investment property out of, making those changes in his life. So I believe if that person could change, that the majority of the population can, and take control of your finances. So basically, that's the first step you would have to do in order to transform your money. Get your money story right. The second thing is, which we look at with module number 2, is taking extreme ownership of your finances. And it's all about what I call the money manager, money management skills. In the book, I share about how you need to balance your budget, but also at the same time, take personal responsibility. So in this module, what we do is we look at the history before we do a budget. And the key to looking at the history, which we have worked with lots of clients on, is let's get your CSV file out. I don't know if you know, but in your banking, internet banking right now, you can actually go to your bank account and there's a pop-up there where you can download your bank statements, but you can actually download what the bank calls a CSV file. And a CSV file, depending which bank you're with, so let's say NAB, you could go back 7 years. St. George, you can go back, I think, 3 months or 4 months. Other banks, maybe 12 months. You can download the CSV file of your credit card statements, your personal bank accounts, your business bank accounts, and you convert it to a CSV file. And then with the CSV file, you can actually convert it to an Excel sheet. And once you convert it, you can actually start organizing what you spent your money on in that period of time, whether it's 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. And the reason we say let's start with the CSV file rather than start with the budget is because my philosophy is, as I mentioned before about the money story, we gotta look at the past, we make peace with the past, we look at where we spent our money, what we spent our money on. We don't make ourselves wrong. It's not about being naughty. It's actually about understanding, because a lot of people don't realize that, $5 cup of coffee every day at the end of the year could amount to $3,000. I'm not saying drop the coffee. I'm saying let's just have a look at where are we spending our money, because the majority of the time where we're spending our money is actually not on the big ticket items. Big ticket items like your mortgage or your rent, we know it, it's fixed. It's all the other small bits and pieces. Now, at the end of that, revelation, once we add up all the expenses, we know where we're at, then we can, as an adult, we can start looking at what new choices do I want to make? Do I want to keep doing the $5 a day? Do I want to buy a coffee machine? We start asking questions. And I'm giving you an example. It could be other things. It could be with a couple of clients, actually, the ones we helped drop down their credit card debt of $80,000 in 2 years' time. They're on, 2 incomes. So it wasn't like, it was one household, 1 income per household, but they made changes in their lives fast. With them, it was eating out every day. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So how can we minimize that? It doesn't have to be that we don't eat out. It's like, you know what? I can do breakfast. I can do sandwiches, but I would like to have my Thai food, and I want to do that every day. So it's basically changing the way you spend money. And it is all about you taking control of where you want to spend your money. As long as you become aware, once you add it up, at the end of the period, where the money is going, that's where you can take extreme ownership of your finances, make peace with your past, and then it's easy to do the budget. Not doing the budget first. As a financial advisor, they tell us, let's sit down with people and do the budget. And most of the time, people are guessing the budget. We don't want to guess. We want to see the real expenses. Now, in this module, I show you how to do this CSV file. I show you how to do the budget. If you don't want to share it with anyone, you don't have to. But we spend 2 weeks on this module. So you've got the time to put it together. I can guide you, because part of this course is to do weekly calls. So we will go through it, and you get to download this and do that and figure out how to do this together with me, and you do it in the privacy of your own home. If you don't want to share this with anybody, you don't have to. People who have done the course have shared it, have done it on their own, and then they share by saying, I'm going to drop, eating out once a week. I'm going to do eating out once a week or twice a week, etc. You don't have to show me where you're spending your money. You as an adult end up making that decision. Where do I spend my money and how do I spend my money? So I believe that this module is very, very powerful, where you get to choose and you get to know where your money is going. I think just doing that module would change your life. So that's basically module 2. Module 3, we talk about that's the, module 5. So this is module 5, is the money maker's secrets. We look at, so the technical skills and the motivational skills come together. We look at, where do you feel unworthy to make money? What issues you have charging clients? What issues you have if you don't have your own business, if you're working for someone, to ask for a raise, or to say that this is my value. You get to know, to write down what you're good at, what your value is, and you get to price it, whether it's your job or whether it's your business. We will talk about how we can manage our time, because that's important, whether you're running your own business or you're working for someone, how we can manage our time. You know, as an accountant, I live by my timesheet. I have to write every day what I do in 15-minute blocks. So I help people to manage their time effectively. You don't have to end up like me, because us accountants can be a bit too extreme, but it helps people to I see people shaking their heads. It helps you to put some discipline in your life if that is what is lacking. So we balance for you the financial and technical skills with the motivational skills. How can we improve our money making skills? And I don't know if you've seen on my website, I have created, and it's based on the book, because it's based on my mom and dad's money story. It's I've actually created that they are, you know, I made it up. I don't know if it's true. I've created the money types of people. So I believe that there are people who are good at making money, and there are people who are very good at managing money. Some people might be both, good at making money and good at managing money. But from my experience, even looking and profiling myself, I think I'm a touch better. Well, don't know how many percentages, but I'm better at managing the money. Well, that's why I'm an accountant. But there are people who are much better than me, or than somebody else at making money, you know, like salespeople, you know, they know how to close a deal, they do all this stuff. I'm not there yet. I'm not as good as that. So you need to know who you are. By knowing who you are, you work on making that work. So you could be a good money manager, but may not be a good money maker. It might be that you improve your skills in money making, and or you partner with someone who is good at making money to balance you. Because in order to achieve wealth in your life, in order to achieve that financial independence and security, you need to have that balance. Good at making money, but also good at managing the money. So I've created this money assessment with the help of my lovely husband. And basically people do a 2-minute quiz online, and you get your profile. Now, don't shoot me if if it doesn't work out for you. It's based on, we've done it on psychological, we've brought the psychological, we've brought the financial skills together and created that profile. And that profile will help you to work out where you're at with, you know, on the spectrum, and where you need to improve. So, yeah, makes sense? Okay, great. So I would, I advise you to do the test, and so that you know when, if you would like to come and do the course, you know where you're at. Are you more good at managing the money? So do you need more of the module 5, let's say, to look at money making skills? So understand yourself so that you can focus on what you need to do better. The other thing we look at is, what does personal success mean to you? I don't want to, as I mentioned before, I don't want to prescribe my value system on you. There are people who would be happy with, you know, let's say paying off their own home and living on a modest superannuation. Or some people might say, you know, I want to get 10 properties. This is when I feel secure. I don't want to impose my values on you, because what I want you to do is you work out what is success mean to you. So it could be the 10 properties, it could be one property, it could be a small share portfolio, it could be a big superannuation fund. You need to know what success means to you. Even in your business, if you own your own business, what does success mean to you? I don't want to tell you go and make $10 million. If that's not what you feel comfortable with. Is it that you, as long as you make 20 grand a month? You need to define that for yourself, because at the end of the day, you're the one getting up every morning to fight for your business, to fight for your career, and you need to feel comfortable of what that means to you. You get to write what that means to you, and my job is to help you get there. I will not make you wrong for not having, you know, big plans, or a $5 million, that you want a $5 million portfolio, or that you want a $10 million business and you want to franchise it and all that. I don't believe in that. I believe in your own value. Bring your own values. Bring what's in your heart into what it means to be successful financially. So you get to write in this program what your financial goals are and what you believe financial success mean to you. And my job is to listen and to guide you and not to judge you for whatever number you come up with. So my invitation to you tonight is, if you would love to do the course, I would love to have you on the course. We've already got 3 people registered. We're starting next week. The course is for $8.98 for 8 weeks. It involves also weekly group calls and 6 months support after, with 1 hour monthly support every month for 6 months. I know it doesn't make sense financially if you really add up the numbers, but my aim is to get people in, and I want to train. I want you to give me feedback. You know, if I suck, you tell me I suck. So for the past 8 months, I've done 3 online courses with clients, and you know, some people said, you know, we want more of you, Susan, and that's why with this course, you'll get more of me. So this is a big trial for me. It's the first time we're gonna have more of me. You're gonna see me more with group calls. If you would like to register by tomorrow, because, you know, I gotta be honest, and I would say we're starting next Monday, whether it's with 3 people or 30 people. You know, I gotta honor the people who have registered. Happy to give you another $100 off, so it would be for $7.98 by tomorrow. I'm also, every time I'm offering this course, and I've done that for the past 3 times, I'm offering actually 2 spots free to people in need, whether you're a refugee, if you're an indigenous person, if you're a single mom or a single dad, if you lost your job, you lost your home, anything that has happened to you, send me an email and tell me why you want to do the course. I've got 1 spot, so I've already given the free spot to somebody else. So if you would like to let me know what your situation is like, there's one spot, and it's gonna go by Friday, close of business day. So if you think that you are worthy of that spot, please let me know. If you believe that there are people out there that you know in your community, or people that you believe need help, let them know, send me an email, and I'm happy to put them on. But these are the criteria, because I want to help people who are really, really in need. So that's it for me. Yeah, I want to share with you before I leave, and before I leave this for you guys to ask any questions, I want to share with you testimonials from clients who have done the course, and they were happy to share their names. You can give them a call if you like, what this course has done for them. So Kendra and Jason say that the program allowed them finally to get in control of their financial situation that they've been avoiding for years. My honest and practical approach enabled them to really face their roadblocks and to push through them. They now feel confident in their ability to provide for their future and for their children and retirement. Thanks to me, they have savings in the bank, they're debt-free, and are about to purchase their second investment property. So that's one testimonial from real people. Some people did not want to share their name, but these people don't mind. And some people that, and another lady who you, Mario and Maria, know, Gabriella says that, that she's recently done the course, even though she feels that she's got good fundamentals. This is an amazing client that I have. I don't know why she did the course, but actually the course ended up helping her to sit down finally with her husband. For the past 15 years, they've been avoiding putting a budget together. So just sitting down and putting that budget together has made a big difference in their life. So they're starting on the journey to start looking at where they can make some savings, and they've actually looked at where they can make savings, even though they're good money savers as well. But there's always room for improvement. So that's Gabriella's testimonial. If you'd like to ask me any questions right now, let me know. So, yeah. Any questions? Stop share. Yeah. I'm going to stop recording, so you guys know, if you want to ask questions, this is not going to go anywhere.